In the third week of November 2010, Honor, Michigan, a quiet resort town, was blanketed by an early, heavy snowfall that silenced the streets and buried tracks in hours. Adrienne Wintall, a 32-year-old botanical illustrator from Ann Arbor, booked a secluded cabin near the Platte River's eastern bank for what she described to her sister as a 5-day creative escape. Pure solitude, sketching no interruptions. The cabin, a quarter-mile off County Road 706, was reached via a winding dirt path through dense white pine and birch. Owned by retired orthopedic surgeon Marlon Vest, it was rented through a handwritten notice at the Honor General Store. No online booking, just cash and a signed waiver noting no internet, basic well pump plumbing, and emergency services over 20 minutes away in clear weather. Adrienne arrived on a Monday afternoon. Her last known sighting was at Beulah Fuel and Feed, a gas station and bait shop 2 miles from the cabin. Grainy security footage captured her buying a paperback thriller, a bag of pears, firewood, and a gallon of kerosene, dressed in a gray wool peacoat and a knit cap with a tiny embroidered sparrow. She smiled at cashier Darlene Kopp, who later recalled her as serene, eager for the quiet. The footage, time-stamped 4:12 p.m. on November 15th, became the case's most scrutinized evidence for years. Marlon Vest expected the cabin key back by Saturday morning. When Adrienne didn't show, he chalked it up to the snow, which had fallen relentlessly since Wednesday, rendering the dirt path nearly impassable. By Tuesday, he drove his truck as far as he could, then trekked the rest on foot. At the cabin by 1 p.m., he found the door locked from within. No response to his knocks or calls. Using his spare key, he entered a chilled, orderly space. A half-finished sketch of a holly branch on a table by the window, a suitcase open on the bed with clothes neatly packed, a cold mug of coffee by the stove, boots aligned near the door, her coat on a peg. Adrienne was gone. Outside, fresh snow erased all traces. No footprints, no tire marks, just unbroken white pressing in. Vest reported it to the Benzie County Sheriff's Office that day. A search launched immediately, with deputies, state troopers, AK-9 unit from Traverse City, and Honor Fire Department volunteers scouring a 3-mile radius around the cabin. Helicopters scanned frozen riverbanks. Divers braved Platte Lake's icy edges. 9 days yielded nothing. No scarf, no glove, no sign she left on foot. Adrienne's sister, Claire Wynn, flew from Philadelphia, speaking at a county courthouse press conference beside a photo of Adrienne in a summer garden, hands smudged with ink and charcoal. Claire, voice breaking, described her as gentle, meticulous, someone who mailed handwritten notes and knew every plant she sketched. Their parents, retired Kalamazoo teachers, offered a $12,000 reward. Tips trickled in. A hiker claimed seeing a woman like Adrienne on M22 a day after she vanished, but the timeline didn't match. A psychic from Lansing pointed to an empty hunting stand. By mid-December, the search was paused, then halted. Adrienne's name joined the Michigan State Police missing persons list, lingering for nearly a decade. In March 2020, 2 brothers, Lucas and Jeremy Toff, snowmobiling near Sleeping Bear Dune's northern edge, spotted something beneath the snow. Digging, they found a frozen canvas satchel, its leather strap brittle. Inside were soggy sketchbook pages, a rusted tin of pencils, and a laminated library card bearing Adrienne's name. Empire locals, their mother part of the 2010 search. They marked the GPS coordinates and rushed to the Philip A. Hart Visitor Center. Within hours, the sheriff's office reopened the case. Detective Warren Kulick, a rookie during the initial investigation, took lead, haunted by the case's eerie void. No struggle, no departure, just absence. He ordered the satchel processed with top forensic care. Some sketchbook pages were ruined, but 3 were readable. One, a pencil sketch of holly branch mirroring the cabin's unfinished drawing. Another, dated November 17, 2010, with a margin note. Heard footsteps last night, didn't answer, they lingered. The third, torn and creased, read, "He knows I'm here alone." The satchel's discovery tore open old wounds in Honor. Proof Adrienne had been out there, beyond the search's reach, lost in the storm's chaos. Kulick, in the sheriff's evidence room that March, poured over 3 boxes of 2010 records, interviews, maps, weather logs, cabin photos from Vest's report day. The initial response was rapid. A command center at Honor Township Hall within 6 hours. Teams from 4 counties, state police aviation, cadaver dogs from Grand Rapids. But November 24th blizzard dumped 9 inches of snow, visibility near zero, temperatures at 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Hypothermia threatened searchers and Adrienne alike. By November 29th, the search spanned 5 square miles, dense woods, frozen marshes, Platte River's swift currents. Divers probed beneath ice. Volunteers on ATVs scoured narrow trails. Nothing surfaced, no footprint, no fabric, no disturbance. Search Coordinator Gerald Foss, a retired Marine, wrote in his final report that the absence of evidence was statistically anomalous in his 20 years of rescues. He underlined, either she was taken by vehicle or she never left willingly. Claire stayed in Honor 3 weeks, bunking at a US 31 motel, scouring woods or waiting at the command center. Her statement, buried in the second box, painted Adrienne as cautious, methodical, always sharing her plans. She'd been thrilled, not nervous, about the trip. No conflicts, no debts, no romantic ties hinted at flight. Phone records showed only routine calls to art suppliers or Claire. Her bank account froze after November 15th. Her 2007 Toyota RAV4 sat at the cabin, keys in the ignition, gas tank half full. Claire noted something odd. A November 16th call via the cabin's landline. No cell service. Where Adrienne said the cabin was perfect but mentioned fresh cigarette butts by the porch and boot print from the woods to the side window, vanishing into brush. She wasn't scared, just curious. No record showed her telling Vest. Kulick flagged Vest for re-interview. In 2010, Vest was cooperative, sharing rental logs and an alibi, a Traverse City medical conference, verified by hotel records and witnesses. Kulick wanted to ask about the butts and prints. Forensics on the satchel found clay-rich soil in the strap, typical of riverbanks, not the cabin's sandy loam, plus dark green synthetic fibers, possibly from a tarp or jacket, and 3 faint bloodstains inside. DNA tests were rushed. Kulick formed a new search team, tracing back from the satchel site for miles northeast of the cabin in thick forest with seasonal streams. It was deliberate terrain, not a casual wander. He brought in ground-penetrating radar, cadaver dogs, and Dr. Lillian Schott, a Michigan State forensic anthropologist. Schott's team set up camp half a mile from the site, using 2010 weather data to map likely object drift. The satchel likely moved via spring floods, lodging against roots. On March 10th, a cadaver dog, Rue, alerted 50 yards west of an eroded riverbank, shaded by cedar, soil frozen deep. Excavation uncovered gray wool fabric matching Adrienne's coat, a button with a sparrow emblem like her cap, then bone fragments, a human radius and ulna. 16 inches down, no animal marks, unusual but possible in frozen soil. Dental records and DNA from the satchel's blood confirmed Adrienne. A broken watch, stopped at 10:52, and a rusted folding knife in a decayed plastic bag, 3 feet away, shifted the case. The knife, a timber ridge lockback, held Adrienne's DNA and blood traces on the hinge. Kulick sent knife photos to regional stores, identifying it as a 2006 to 2012 model sold widely. He re-interviewed Vest, now 74, in Frankfurt. Vest reiterated his 2010 conference alibi, unaware of cigarette butts or prints. He'd mentioned the rental at the general store locals overheard. He denied owning a timber ridge knife, showing a fixed-blade heirloom instead. Kulick sensed Adrienne's stay wasn't as private as assumed. Next, he met Darlene Kopp, still at Beulah Fuel and Feed. She remembered Adrienne vividly, recalling regulars that day, Mr. Foster buying chewing tobacco, ice fisherman, and Travis Lauren stacking firewood. Lauren, a local handyman, smoked roll-your-owns and lived near Platte Lake. Kulick's background check on Lauren, 47, showed minor issues: 2004 public intoxication, 2008 trespassing, 2013 license suspension. His 2008 to 2015 rental was 1.8 miles from the cabin, walkable in 25 minutes. The landlord recalled a brown pickup and snowmobile. Lauren's 2016 bankruptcy listed knives but no brands. His last address was a Traverse City boarding house, 2015 to 2018. The manager said he'd moved to a Suttons Bay Marina job but vanished in 2019. A dock worker hinted Lauren camped in the state forest, dodging rangers. Kulick met with the sheriff, state police, and Schott, outlining Lauren's proximity, habits, and profile. Schott noted the burial site required local knowledge. A warrant was issued, but Lauren's camper was found April 11th near the Betsy River, a rusted 1980s Winnebago. Lauren, unshaven in a green jacket, answered calmly. In a 3-hour interview, he waived counsel, admitting he saw Adrienne at the store and walked near the cabin twice, watching her unpack and smoke. He denied harming her, claiming fear kept him silent. He'd owned a Timber Ridge knife, lost in 2011. He mentioned hearing another person's footsteps and seeing a headlamp flicker that second night. Kulick released him but dug deeper, checking 2010 volunteer lists. Ranger Carl Hustis, who knew the forest intimately and joined the search, took leave November 21st, 2010, for a family matter. Now retired in Benzonia, Hustis confirmed his 2010 Ohio trip for his mother's illness, admitted patrolling the cabin area, and showed a Timber Ridge knife lent to a volunteer, Owen Berridge. Berridge, 35 in 2010, lived in honor, worked odd jobs, and had a 2012 restraining order from Natalie Crest. Crest described Berridge's obsessive behavior, unannounced visits, constant calls, lurking. He spoke of permanent connections. Berridge trail faded post 2013, but a 2019 hunting license listed an interlocking P.O. box. At Lot 14, a campsite, Kulick found a fire ring, green tarp fibers, and a buried jar with a sparrow button, gray wool, and Adrienne sketch. More jars held her watch and hair. Berridge's journal confessed watching her, borrowing Hustis' knife, and panicking when she tried to leave. He admitted striking her, carrying her to the riverbank, and letting the cold kill her. Arrested May 4th, 2020, Berridge confessed fully, pleading guilty to murder and concealment. At sentencing, Claire confronted him. "You don't own her memory." He got life without parole. In November 2020, 200 attended Adrienne's memorial, lighting candles under her smiling photo, their flames a defiant glow against the dark. Share this gripping story, hit the notification bell, and comment which cold case needs light next. Your support keeps these stories alive, giving voice to those still seeking answers.